flown to Sydney. Good to see you here. Hope you've chosen the right airline to fly with. For those who don't know me, I'm Michael Blunt. I'm Vice President of Corporate Affairs for the oneworld Alliance. It's good to have you here in the home of our favourite Australian member airline, Qantas. Let me introduce, without any further ado, the panel up here on the stage. From your left, over on the far side from me, we have oneworld Governing Board Chairman, Finnair CEO Pekka Vauramo. Next to him, we have oneworld CEO Rob Gurney. Next to Rob is someone you have not seen in a oneworld setting before, and that is Andre Viljoen, CEO of Fiji Airways. Then on this side of the table we have the leaders of the 4 founding airlines of the Oneworld Alliance, whose conception was actually announced pretty well 20 years ago now. In the middle, a familiar face to the Australians in particular here, Qantas Group CEO Alan Joyce. Then we have from American Airlines its Chairman and CEO Doug Parker. Representing British Airways is the CEO of its parent company IAG, Willie Walsh, and finally Cathay Pacific Chief Executive Officer Rupert Hogg. Also with us today are CEOs and senior executives from a number of other oneworld member airlines, including from Malaysia Airlines, a group CEO, Captain Isham Ismail. A wave, please, Captain. Thank you very much. From S7, we have its President, Anton Eriman. Anton, please stand. And from Sri Lanka, we have CEO Suran Ratwatha. We also acknowledge the Chairman of Fiji Airways, Rajesh Punja, and colleagues from the airline and from many other oneworld member airlines. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. So we'll be hearing from the lineup on the stage in just a moment. And round it off with as many Q&As as time allows. And then we'll round off the proceedings with a photo opportunity. Full details of today's proceedings are in the press release, which hopefully you picked up when you came in here. And if you need further information about Fiji Airways, there's a full booklet at the back of the room there. The press release details where you can download images, logos, photos, and videos to support today's news. Now, time is tight. We're committed to be out of here by 4:45 for the IATA press conference on airport privatisation. So, without any further wasted time, let me hand over straight away to oneworld Chairman and Finnair CEO Pekka.
Thank you, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, this year marks the 20th anniversary of oneworld's conception. It was back in 1998 that American Airlines, British Airways, Cathay Pacific and Qantas, all present up here now, announced the formation of the alliance. My own Finnair was fast to recognize the great opportunity oneworld represented in terms of added value for our customers and for our airline. We became the first recruit to sign up to join within months of oneworld's launch in early 1999. Since then, many other of the world's airlines have followed us on board. So today, as you have seen and heard, oneworld comprises of 13 of the industry's biggest and best, plus around 30 of our affiliated carriers. Elsewhere in the industry, others too recognize the advantages flowing from being a part of global alliance. Today, of the industry's 20 biggest network airlines, all but 2 are now members of one of the 3 global alliances. If you spread the net a little wider and look at the world's 50 biggest network airlines, you'll find there are fewer than 20% of them currently unaligned. It should be of little surprise then that the airlines in 3 global alliances today account for some 60% of total industry's capacity and revenues. Oneworld's core target market is travel between the world's leading business cities. In this important and growing market, the share of the 3 global alliances is still high, at some 70%. In this particular ring, oneworld punches well above its weight. We have a global share of almost a quarter, which makes us the second largest alliance on this measure. Our focus on quality since the very start means that our lineup has to be the most attractive in the skies. That is reflected not just in that market share figure, but also by our performance in the various industry award schemes. We can all be proud of oneworld holds twice as many Best Airline Alliance trophies than the other 2 alliances combined. And our network has to be one of the most attractive too, serving more than 1,000 destinations in 150 plus territories. For airlines and customers, that network is the biggest benefit oneworld offers. By linking our individual airline networks together, we provide connectivity on a truly global basis. For our customers, it makes it easier and more rewarding to reach virtually anywhere on the planet. For us airlines, it translates into more revenues, particularly interline revenues from those connecting passengers. Since oneworld was born, those interline revenues across the alliance have grown twice as fast as our overall passenger revenues, standing now at more than $5 billion a year, which, if it was an airline in its own, would make it one of the world's 30th largest. Now, with most of the world's biggest airlines already signed up to the global alliances, as I said earlier, global alliances have reached a maturity. Growth prospects are limited, certainly in terms of traditional membership numbers. All the same, there are still parts of the world where we are at oneworld would like to increase our presence further and where our customers would like to extend our network. But there are only few airlines available, if you go by the past requirements for potential candidates. So how do we achieve the growth we want to have? It means we have to adapt. If we are going to achieve presence in some markets, we have to find a way of linking up with new partners who might not in the past have been considered candidates for oneworld membership because of several reasons. Their networks are relevant only to a subset of established members, or they cannot necessarily meet oneworld's full membership requirement at this stage, or they may not simply be interested in full membership at present, which is why today we are announcing oneworld's first membership platform in our 2 decades of history, oneworld Connect. In the future, we expect most of the membership growth to come via oneworld Connect. Today, we are delighted to announce the first airline to join us in that capacity, Fiji Airways. More about that in a moment. We are progressing discussions with other airlines who are interested in signing for the program from various parts of the world, including Americas, Asia Pacific and Europe. oneworld Connect provides a way of enhancing relationships between these new partners and oneworld and its member airlines going forward, with a streamlined and rapid path to full membership later on, where that makes sense for all parties. Most importantly, it enables us and the partners who will join us in this capacity to offer our customers more services and benefits across an even wider network, strengthening our competitive position still further. Which is my cue to hand over this to Rob to explain oneworld Connect's customer value proposition. Please, Rob.
Thank you very much, Pekka, and let me add my words of welcome. It's great to see everybody here and a lot of familiar faces. It's nice to be back in my hometown of Sydney, so thank you. So since oneworld was launched, we've offered a customer value proposition that extends across each and every airline, no matter which airline you're flying with. Things like through check-in, customer support throughout the network, the ability to earn and redeem frequent flyer miles across all partners, as well as status credits. And in fact, those frequent flyer benefits are extended across every oneworld carrier, including lounge access, priority check-in, boarding, baggage delivery for premium customers, and so on. But the essence of that is that it's dependent on total reciprocity between all of the member airlines. So each time we've added a new recruit, which has added network coverage to all established partners, it's been of a scale that makes that investment worthwhile and extending those service benefits to its own customers. And as Pekka has indicated, the pool in which we're fishing now in terms of potential new carriers that sort of fulfill that description is quite limited. What oneworld Connect enables us to do is bring other airlines into the oneworld family, airlines that don't meet our sort of historical or more legacy membership requirements. And that does require a different type of value proposition. So the oneworld Connect partners will offer actually a subset of oneworld's regular full range of customer service and benefits. They'll provide a standard subset of alliance benefits to frequent flyers from any oneworld member airline travelling on their flights. But in addition, a more extensive range of benefits will be offered within a subset of the oneworld member airlines, which we are calling the Connect carriers oneworld sponsors. And of course, as Michael said, those sponsors are sitting here up on the podium today. As you will see on the left column of that chart, customers with Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby status in any oneworld member airlines loyalty scheme will be able to use priority check-in guests when available when flying on any oneworld Connect partner. And those with Emerald and Sapphire status in any oneworld member airlines frequent flyer program will also be able to take advantage of priority boarding when available when flying on any oneworld Connect partner. The additional benefits offered by oneworld Connect partners to customers from their oneworld sponsors and vice versa, you will see in the right-hand column. And they include through checking the passengers and their baggage for journeys, including connections between the Connect carrier and any of its oneworld sponsors. The ability to earn and redeem frequent flyer rewards, earn frequent flyer status points for eligible flights. For customers from oneworld Connect airlines, those benefits depend on the oneworld Connect partner offering frequent flyer programs and access to select lounges at key airports for first or business class passengers or those with top-tier frequent flyer status. Select and other customer benefits may also be offered between oneworld Connect partners and their oneworld sponsor airlines on a bilateral basis. But let me stress that the current suite of standard oneworld services and benefits remain in place for customers travelling on all oneworld's full member airlines. To make it clear to customers which airline offers which suite of benefits, we are introducing this distinct oneworld Connect sub-brand logo that will be displayed by oneworld Connect partners alongside their own logos as part of their signage on their aircraft and on their staff uniform badges. So what sort of companies are we considering as potential oneworld Connect candidates? Well, Pekka's already covered this to a degree. We do have some basic requirements. First of all oneworld Connect airlines will be required to maintain IATA AGM safety certification. Secondly, each oneworld Connect partner will need to have a minimum of 3 oneworld sponsor members to be initiated into the program. As the lineup on the stage suggests, Fiji Airways are a quartet of sponsors, all of which, as Mike has said, are oneworld's founding member airlines: American Airlines, British Airways, Cathay Pacific, and Qantas. Third, candidate airlines will have to be able to deliver consistent oneworld Connect products, services, and benefits, just as I've outlined. And fourth, they'll need to make their networks available for the Global Explorer, the round-world fare products offered by all oneworld members and select other airlines. And that's basically it. The program is designed to be as flexible as possible for potential candidate airlines. And as Pekka has mentioned, with oneworld approaching its 20th birthday, and the 2 decades since its inception, the industry, consumer behaviours have changed fundamentally. Most of our members have undergone significant and comprehensive transformation, some on multiple occasions. So 20 years ago, hardly any airline offered online bookings, let alone check-in, and series hadn't been invented. The likes of Emirates and Ryanair, well, when we put it this way, were still in their infancy. Global alliances had to be really blunt about it, able to keep up with this pace, and we haven't. So at oneworld, we're making up for that through oneworld Connect, which is an entirely new program and platform, through new brand positioning, which we'll be talking about in the very near future, and through exciting digital products that again will be rolling out very soon, through new ways of working internally and through a host of other initiatives. But today is about oneworld Connect, and now to introduce formally the very first oneworld Connect partner, as CEO of the airline mentoring through its implementation. Please let me hand over to Bosses Alan. Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Rob. Can you hear me with this? Yeah. Can I welcome everybody to Sydney, first of all? We're really pleased here, and this is a very exciting announcement with Andre and our friends from Fiji Airways. A little bit of history for those that don't know it. Qantas and Fiji Airways go back a long time. Believe it or not, it was an Australian that helped set up the airline back in the 1950s. And Qantas became a shareholder in 1958. And we've had a very strong relationship with the airline ever since. We have a co-sharing partnership with Fiji Airways at the moment. And for a number of reasons, we're really excited about this partnership. First of all, our friends will add great value to the oneworld network. It gives a destination that we think a lot of our customers around the globe will want to actually travel to. Secondly, it really builds on what we're seeing as amazing demand from Australia, as an example. In the last year alone, we've brought an extra over 200,000 passengers, up 24% on Fiji Airways services. And there's huge demand here from this market. We know Australians have a love affair with Fiji, and we think this will help build that and create love affairs for airlines all over the globe. We're also seeing some amazing investments taking place at Fiji. Land Walker has set up an amazing resort, and for premium leisure travel in particular, this is an amazing destination to visit. And having these seamless opportunities for people to get to those destinations, we think is going to be great. So we're very, very happy to be a sponsor. We're our partners. We're a company we have a shareholding in. We're a company that we've worked with for 60 years. And we wish you all the best, and you will do very well out of oneworld Connect, and oneworld will do very well of having you as a partner. Can I pass on to Doug, who's going to say a few words also?
Sure. Thanks, Alan. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Yeah, like Qantas, American already has an established code-share relationship with Fiji. We're excited to now bring Fiji Airways in as a oneworld Connect partner that will allow our customers to have even better access to the South Pacific and make the South Pacific even more attractive than it already is for our customers. And it will allow the Fiji Airways customers, of course, the ability to travel to and across North America much smoother and easier. So welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you, Doug. As Rob Gurney has said, the global alliances will need to continue to evolve if they are to remain relevant in this fast-changing industry, and that's exactly what oneworld is doing today. British Airways, as you know, along with my colleagues here, was one of the launch partners of oneworld, and we're delighted to support this initiative. We're excited about the opportunity to work with Fiji Airways. We're looking forward to developing closer links with one another for the benefit of both of our airlines, the benefit of our customers, and for the benefit of the wider oneworld community. So I join with my colleagues and welcome Fiji Airways today.
Thank you, Willie, and I would endorse that. Cathay Pacific has always been very proud of its part in the formation of oneworld 20 years ago, and making it, I think, one of the leading quality alliances that it is today. And we're equally proud to be supporting this exciting new membership platform, oneworld Connect, and getting it off the ground today, and doing that as a sponsor of Fiji Airways, our long-term co-chair partner. I would endorse everything that's been said. It's a fabulous destination, and I think this additional connectivity will really play well for everyone concerned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rupert. So we're going to hear in just a minute from Andre, and then we'll follow that with a Q&A session. We'll use these mics to ask you to put your questions through them. So, Andre, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Friends and colleagues, as we say in Fiji, bula! Good afternoon. Fiji's national airline, is thrilled and honoured to be the first One World Connect partner globally. We are delighted to be linking with the world's premier airline alliance and deepening our relationships, in particular with our sponsors, Qantas, American Airlines, British Airways and Cathay Pacific. I would like to thank the teams at One World, our sponsors and the wider One World family, and indeed the team involved at Fiji Airways for all the support they have provided us to enable to reach this important landmark for our airline today. Our accession into One World as a One World Connect member enables us to offer more services and benefits to our own customers, along with the others in the One World family, to achieve a greater presence for our airline internationally and to build on the inbound tourism that is so vital to our home nation. It is also a matter of great pride for us at Fiji Airways to link the South Pacific to the One World network. In effect, one of the world's final frontiers for travel is now connected. For those of you unfamiliar with Fiji Airways, a few facts and figures. Founded in 1951, we today serve 21 destinations in 13 states and territories, including several One World hubs. I understand we will now be adding 7 additional territories to the One World network, including our home Fiji. Our regional subsidiary Fiji Link serves a further 9 destinations across our Fijian and neighbouring Pacific islands. We operate a fleet of 18 aircraft, including 5 Airbus A330s, with a 6th that will join our fleet shortly, and 5 next-generation Boeing 737s. We offer a 2-class business and economy product on most international routes, including seats that convert to an angle lie-flat bed. I'm proud to state as well that Fiji Airways will be the first airline in the region to receive and operate the brand new Boeing 737 MAX 8 on our short and medium haul routes from December, offering an excellent cabin experience with modern in-flight amenities for our guests. Last year, we boarded 1.6 million customers, generating revenues of US dollars 452 million and profits of US dollars 44 million at the operating level and 38 million at the net level. A picture is worth 1,000 words, they say, so I'm happy to let the short video introduce Fiji Airways, Fiji's national airline.
Okay, so we have a little time for questions, and I stress a little time. It means I'm only going to take questions relating to One World Connect and Fiji Airways. In time-honored fashion, please raise your hand, wait for the microphone, then give your name and the organisation that you represent. There's someone desperate to ask a question back there.
Danny, the South China Morning Post. Will this One World Connect model work with rival alliance airline members, and could this, as Pekka, when he took over chairmanship of One World, could this be a route for mainland Chinese carriers to be members?
Rob, perhaps you then Pekka can add a few words.
Thanks. Well, I've got a feeling I'm going to get a lot of these questions, Michael. Thank you. So let me, hey Dan, good to see you, and I think we're catching up tomorrow for a coffee or something. So, you know, in time-honored fashion, we're not going to comment on who we're talking to commercially or otherwise, but to the first part of your question, you know, we think it's a very scalable model, and it's designed to be that. And, you know, just to sort of elaborate on a couple of things I said earlier, What we've been striving to do is we contemporize and push oneworld into the 21st century is really simplify processes for our member airlines and try and remove the complexity. And one of the impediments has been in terms of attracting members that don't have necessarily the commercial points of interaction with multiple members is that it's required an enormous amount of work for carriers to deliver commercial gains. So this is highly focused on those airlines whose networks are highly relevant, whose customers are highly relevant to the Connect partners. So it's scalable, it's designed to, frankly, fill white space markets, but we won't talk specifically about who we're talking to or not talking to, sorry.
So this gentleman here, just by the aisle, and then we've got two in the front, and then this gentleman there.
Maybe this is a question for Pekka and then maybe Doug. There's been a very thorny question of how Taiwan should be dealt with by global airlines. Should a global alliance like oneworld maybe be a forum where you could give guidance to airlines to prevent airlines being picked off one by one? And maybe Doug, has American Airlines made a decision on whether it's going to comply with the Chinese regulators' edicts on Taiwan and how you refer to it?
We don't have time to take the second question here, I'm afraid. This is about One World Connection Fiji. Is there anything you want to say about that first?
No, I really don't want to comment too much on things like that, and it's also out of the scope of the question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ginsberg.
Malcolm Ginsberg, Business Travel News London. It's for Alan really, but I'll get the Fiji connection in, don't worry. You just started to Perth non-stop. How far have you got with the Sydney non-stop? By the way, the Perth was very, very good. And I suppose I better ask Willie as well to say a few words whether British Airways might be interested in it, as they've got the 350 coming along.
Yeah. Where's the Fiji question?
And obviously, how do you connect to Fiji by Sydney?
There you go. Good, okay. How do we connect to Fiji? Answer that out.
London, Fiji, one stop.
I think, in fairness, we'll have plenty of time over the next few days to talk about how these new services are going and what's actually happening around it. I think what this does, particularly with the One World product start there, it gives our customers multiple destinations and opportunities to do it. So it is a faster way for people coming from the UK, coming into Australia, making a stop here and then going on and doing Fiji. And you can do that now through the One World ticket process. So this does make it easier, it does help, it provides better connectivity, it provides better ways for customers accessing each of our networks, and that's the big benefit out of this.
Okay, a question from this gentleman here, please.
Robert Silk, Travel Weekly US. Question for Doug. How does this improve or affect passengers from the U.S. American Airlines passengers as far as what they get above and beyond the code share going to Fiji?
Well, again, we already do have the code share, but this allows us to do some more things already described. For the most part, it allows us to more efficiently connect people and do so through the One World Connect system in a way that allows it to be even more seamless for our customers and allows us to also connect to more markets than we did before.
Rob, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, it's a comment that we've made a number of times. What One World and now One World Connect does is provides a kind of ecosystem in which all these other partnership models can operate within. It offers a platform to talk to customers because it has a brand and a defined customer value proposition behind it as a multiple airline proposition. So I'd add that to it. The other thing I would also add, and it's not the question you asked, but I will let out nonetheless. But I think what we'll find with Fiji Air is, Alan touched on some of the more dense markets like Australia, but I think this will open up entirely new markets that potentially we're not even expecting. I think that's the really exciting thing about this. It's an amazing destination. It's not just a physical destination, but it's the people and the cultural assets are just incredible. I think by being part of this global enterprise now, it opens up an enormous opportunity, I think, for people who experience Fiji and for Fiji Air.
Thanks. Kurt, and then David Flynn.
Gentlemen, Conor Air Transport World. I have really a Fiji question. Can the Fiji Airways also part of joint ventures with the partners, and maybe you can benefit also from joint aircraft purchases in the future? And oneworld, maybe how much airlines you can see is the number of airlines as connecting partner, how much carriers could be joined us?
In terms of the deepening of our partnerships, I mentioned earlier that we see this relationship now with our sponsors, creating the opportunity to certainly deepen them further. And will be on a specific bilateral basis. And some may well be joint ventures.
Aircraft purchase?
Sorry. Yes, no, obviously we're currently involved in a campaign to look at our fleet, and we will certainly turn to our sponsor airlines, and especially our mentoring sponsor airline, to give us good advice.
I was going to say, and we're very keen to do that, and it's actually helping with the fleet evaluations, working through some of the things that we think we can add value. And we were even today talking about how can we help each other with pilot training, how do we help each other with access to the infrastructure we're putting in other areas. So one thing that these things do, they open up the door for other dialogue or further dialogue to take place, because people are working on the integration and getting people into the remote connect system, and we'll discover other opportunities we wouldn't have thought of at the start, and that's great and exciting about this.
And Michael, if I can just add a couple of comments to what Alan and Andre have said. In terms of the specific number of airlines that we're sort of targeting under that program, we don't have a specific number, but obviously we built this as a highly scalable model, so we're expecting it to be very successful. The other thing I just add to what Alan said in terms of how we can partner and assist each other more effectively, it also goes right back in terms of how we deliver the propositions to the customer as well. One of the things that Fiji Air will be able to do is leverage off all the investment we're making, for example, in the mobility space. So I think it's very exciting all around.
So just for everyone, getting really short time, I think we'll take a question from David Flynn and then this lady. Depending how long the answers are, we might be able to squeeze one more in. David.
Thank you. Rob, hi, David Flynn from Australian Business Traveller. Rob, how would you compare and characterise oneworld Connect against Star Alliance's Connecting Partners model? What do you see as the key differences?
Well, we don't really compare the two. What we've developed is a program that is relevant for oneworld. So we've got specific design principles that we put behind it that we think are appropriate for oneworld and oneworld members.
Short and sweet. Yes, ma'am.
I thought you were referring to me.
Yes.
Marissa Garcia. Okay, very specific and granular question. First of all, what sort of currency exchange are you going to have on membership mileage for oneworld members, if any? Or are people not going to accrue any credit for flying Fiji?
Rob, do you want to deal with
Thank you. Yes, of course I'll take that one. I'd love to give you a very succinct, simple answer, but essentially the frequent fly arrangements are struck on a bilateral basis between the sponsor airlines and Fiji Air. So, and obviously the terms of those are confidential, but what we can say is the underlying principle is that customers will benefit from the ability to be able to accrue and redeem miles across those sponsor carriers and between the Connect partner and on select flights be able to build status credits. So that's at the customer level. At the operational level and the financial model, the bilateral agreements and the terms are commercially sensitive between the partners.
Okay, and will there be brand standard audits happening with Connect members, not just with Fiji alone?
Sorry, I just missed the question.
Will you be conducting brand standard audits?
Ground standard.
Brand standard audits.
Oh, brand standard. Sorry, big pardon. Sorry. I'm jet lagged, so my apologies. We've designed a specific set of brand guidelines around the program. So yeah, the simple answer is yes, there are a set of standards that have been developed that are unique to the Connect program, but it does provide Fiji Air the opportunity to be able to display oneworld branding across a number of its marketing and customer assets. So that's the whole idea of it, is that it does provide a branded opportunity for the Connect member.
So the final questions to Bloomberg. I know Rob and Andre and a number of the other guys will be making themselves available outside afterwards. But the last question, and then we're going to take our photo opportunity.
Thanks very much, Ben Cass from Bloomberg. Maybe to Willie, if I can ask you just about the rise and growth of long-haul low-cost, and maybe open up the question to the other CEOs is where does oneworld see long-haul low-cost fitting into this model? Is there space for it, and how do you adapt for that new kind of market?
Well, I guess there's a sort of tangent to oneworld there. Does oneworld see long-haul low-cost fitting into the alliance model?
You'd like me to answer that, Michael, or was that really?
Well, I think Willie's presentation for a while, so that's going to help.
Well, it'll obviously have a role to play as the long-haul low-cost model evolves, and that's the important thing that we're talking about oneworld today. It is evolving, and it's evolving to reflect the fast-changing nature of the industry. So if the industry is changing in that direction, oneworld will certainly look to see if there's opportunities for the benefit of our airlines and the benefit of our customers and the benefit of the wider oneworld community. And if it makes sense to do it, well then, oneworld, as we are demonstrating today, is flexible enough to be able to respond to these opportunities. And we'll be flying to Fiji as well.
On that note, thank you very much, Gerhard.